Good morning, friends. Today we shall start the new topic of the phylum Protozoa, that is the sexual phase of life cycle of Plasmodium Vivax. It is presented by Dr. Lokhande Yampi, Department of Zoology, Indira Gandhi Senior College, Sidco, New Nanded. Now, welcome to all of you the online video lecture series for the Google Classroom, that is life cycle of Plasmodium Vivax. You know that this life cycle of the Plasmodium vivax, it is nothing but called as the digenetic life cycle, and it involves the two hosts, that is man and the mosquito. So the life cycle is completed in both the genes, both the hosts, that is the asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction is both the reproduction is occurs into the both of the host into the life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. This the asexual phase of life cycle it is completed in the man, and the sexual phase is completed into the Anopheles female mosquito. The sexual phase is completed with the help of gametogony and the sporogony, and the asexual phase is completed with the multiple fission or the binary fission. These are the way of the reproduction they are occurs into the life cycle of the Plasmodium vivax. So first of all that these are the two ways of the infection to the causes of the man and the mosquito. When the man is infected, the Anopheles female mosquito is bite, and they are suffering from the disease. That is one way, and one of the Anopheles infected female mosquito is bites to the man. That is the infection is transferred from Anopheles female mosquito to the man. So it is one of the vector, the transmission of the vectors from one gene, one host to the other host with the help of the Anopheles female mosquito. It is nothing but the vector for the causing diseases to the man and the mosquito. Now let us we have start. It has presents the two cycles in a different host. So in man, it has presents the asexual reproduction, and in female Anopheles mosquito, body of female Anopheles mosquito, it has presents the sexual reproduction. So first of all that we have seen the sexual phase of life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. They are present into the Anopheles female mosquito. How it is infected the Anopheles female mosquito, and the sexual phase of life cycle is a start. In what way? So one of the person like human being or the man, the infected man is suffering from the disease of the Plasmodium vivax. It causes the disease of malaria, and this the person it is suffering from this the malaria. So in his blood they are present the two different gametes. These two different gametes, like it is present in the human blood, that is microgametes and the macrogametes. These are two gametes, they are present in the human blood. When the microgametes are nothing but called as the female gametes, and the macrogametes are nothing but called as the male gametes. These are two different type of gametes it is present into the human blood. So at the time of biting of the Anopheles female mosquito, they have sucked the blood of human being. At that time, these two gametes, that is microgametes and the macrogametes, they are inserted into the stomach of mosquito. You know that the food of mosquito, it is a blood. So that's why these two gametes they are present into the blood. At the sucking of the blood from the human to the Anopheles mosquito, these two gametes they are comes into the stomach of mosquito. So when these two gametes they are present in the stomach of mosquito, but it has necessary to the host when developed by the further stage. So these gametocytes are remains into the human blood, but they are not unable to develop any further stage. So it has necessary to the host or the body of Anopheles female mosquito. When he comes into the blood, when he comes into the stomach of Anopheles mosquito, they are further developed. These gametocytes are reached into the stomach wall. These are wandering from here and there into the stomach wall, and they are attached to the stomach wall, and the corpuscles of the gametes they are dissolved. When the microgametes are divided into the 4 to 8 long flagellated gametes, and this is the multiple fission, 4 to 8 long flagellated gametes, and they swim into the stomach of mosquito. At the same times, the several macrogametes are present in the stomach of mosquito, but from that, one of the micro and macrogametes are fused and form the round zygotes. So it is nothing but called as the gametogony, means formation of the gametes. These two gametes they are fused and it forms the round zygote. Now the zygote, it maybe comes into the stomach of mosquito, but these zygotes are elongated, so do not reach to the stomach wall. It is called the eukaryotes. These the zygotes, they are the elongated in structure, that's why they are converts into the eukaryotes, and these eukaryotes, they are this zygote, they are penetrate the wall of stomach, and its outer epithelial layer then gets enclosed in the cyst. When he push the inner wall of the stomachs, and they goes to the outer wall of the stomachs, and it forms the wound like structure. That wound like structure, it is called as the cyst. There may be up to 50 cysts in the stomach of mosquito, and the cyst is called as the oocyst, and each cyst presents cytoplasmic masses, and these cytoplasmic masses they are held for the formation of sporozoites. It is nothing but called as the sporogony, and it is formed by the multiple fission. And these are the cylinder or the spindle shaped. Each sporozoite has contain chromatin particles and the nucleus is present. Then the phase of asexual multiplication, in which the sporozoites are formed, called as the sporogony, which is completed into the 10 days to the 3 weeks from the gametocytes are taken by the mosquito, and the oocysts are burst. You know that the cyst, they are presents the outer covering of that the oocyst is burst, and these the sporozoites are liberated into the hemolymph of mosquito, from where they reach its in the salivary glands and enters the duct of hypopharynx. You know that this oocyst is burst, and many sporozoites or the thousands sporozoites are liberated from that the oocyst, and it is comes into the salivary glands, and it is enters into the hypopharynx. These the sporozoites will infect a human host when the mosquito bites and the life cycle is repeated again. You know that these the sporozoites they are comes into the salivary glands of the mosquito. After that, these Anopheles female mosquito is infected, and this infected Anopheles mosquito, it bites to the healthy person. At that time, it is sucking his blood, and with the help of that salivary glands, he has liberated the sporozoites into the blood of human being, and it is start the cycle is repeated again, and it is start the in human, that is asexual phase of life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. Now this one is the sexual phase of life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. In latest, we have discussed in detail, that is nothing but the diagrammatic representation of the Plasmodium vivax, that is a sexual phase. Now, in this diagram, this arrow is shows that to you. This arrow, it is nothing but the gametocytes are sucked along with the blood by female mosquito, and then it is reached into the stomach wall of the mosquito. So it is nothing but called as the sexual phase of life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. Thanks. Welcome your suggestions, and any query, any questions, you have to send on the Google Classroom. Thank you. Thank you once again.